Good morning. Thanks very much, Rihanna. Great to be here at Wakefield Park. And yes, conditions a little bit different to what we've seen over the last couple of days, as you and Steve mentioned. But I'm sure that as soon as the bikes get out on track, the racing will be extremely hot and will burn off that cloud as we get underway. First race up today is race 2 for the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup. And in that race, Hayden Nelson, Cameron Swain and Ryan Larkin will all start from the front row of the grid. Cameron Swain has continued on with the form that he showed at Winton at round 2, where he won all 3 races. He won yesterday afternoon's first race. He didn't qualify on pole position though. That was Hayden Nelson on bike number 29 that will start out of pole position. Cameron Swain and Ryan Larkin, as I mentioned, join him on the first row of the grid. Second row is Levi Russo, Nate O'Neill and Jack Favell. The third row of the grid will be Hudson Thompson, Varus Fleming and Harrison Watts. Of course, all of them riding Yamaha R15 motorcycles that are prepared by the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup team. And don't they look resplendent making their way down onto the grid now, all with their matching Racondi leathers, TCX boots, AGV helmets, and of course all running Pirelli tyres, all series sponsors of the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup. And incidentally, 3 graduates from this class have recently just competed in the Asia Talent Cup, with all of them finishing inside the top 10 in that hotly contested class, which is the pathway to MotoGP. We're ready to go racing on. We've got one rider that's just fallen over on the grid. A couple of these riders are extremely short and they can't actually touch the ground very well. That was bike number 74. That was Bodie Page on the 5th row of the grid, but looks like they've got him up and he's all ready to go now. Hard-working officials doing a great job to get him back up and ready to go racing. So it looks like we're ready to go racing now for the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup. Race number 2, ready to get underway as the red flag leaves the front of the grid. Revs rise. Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup is go. Not the best start there for Ryan Larkin on board bike number 68. He's been swallowed up by the second and third row of the grid as Hayden Nelson, our pole sitter, makes his way down into turn 1 and turn 2 for the first time and starts this, what will be on an R15, Steve, a very long run up the hill.
Yeah, it was a good start from Levi Russo as well. He was up there in the top 3 on the number 72 machine. You can see him there in 3rd place. And look at the jump that those front 3 guys have got already.
Yeah, looked like Nate O'Neill got a pretty good start from the second row of the grid on board bike number 65, and he's got the 14-year-old Jack Favell right behind him as well, all out onto the ripple strip there at the top of the hill as we start the run down the hill now and in towards the, well, one of the corners that you pointed out is a very favourite overtaking place, the bottom of the fish hook there at Alpine Stars Corner, the scene of many, many overtakes, not only in the past, but I'm sure this weekend as well.
Yeah, and we can see Cameron Swain's already taking the lead. This guy is just on a mission at the moment, isn't he? Started on the front row of the grid, didn't get pole position, but he certainly knows how to race, and what a job he's doing out there. But it looks like up the inside goes Hayden Nelson, our pole man. He's taking it to Cameron Swain this time out. Looks like these guys are going to have a pretty good tussle between them.
Yeah, Cameron Swain won yesterday's race by 2.4 seconds. Of course, he won all 3 races at Winton at round 2 of the championship as well. But great to see Hayden Nelson on board bike number 29, really sticking with him there. Trying to use the slipstream as they come down through the extremely fast turn 1, through turn 2 now, which is the mobile corner, and start their run up towards the top of the hill. And this is where you mentioned on the superbike, you only use 1 gear from the time virtually you get to the top of the hill all the way through those bottom corners. I imagine on these bikes, they'll be doing a lot more gear changing.
Yeah, literally from here on the superbike, well, these guys will obviously be using a lot more gears because the speed's a lot less and a lot less horsepower. But second gear from here to the last corner, a lot of these superbike guys are using. But these 2 guys aren't worrying about that. Nice placement up the inside. He's on the brakes later too, and through he goes. What a great move there by Nelson.
Oh, Hayden Nelson in a Troy Herfoss-esque manoeuvre there, setting that one up at the bottom of the hill. He started at the top of the hill now. As they come through Pirelli, he still holds on to a very slender lead. Hudson Thompson, Carter Thompson's younger brother, is now up into 3rd place on board bike number 41. Of course, Carter, one of those riders that was in the Asia Talent Cup and is still in quarantine after returning from Qatar, so not able to be here this weekend to defend his championship lead in the R3 Cup and Supersport 300 categories. But his younger brother Hudson doing a great job with Jack Favell on board bike number 33. sitting back there in the next position. Looks like he's just about to be overtaken using the slipstream well. Is Levi Russo on board bike number 72, but it is still Cameron Swain and Hayden Nelson out front, and really starting to pull away from the rest of this field. Their lead now, Steve, is up to about 3 seconds.
Yeah, Nelson's certainly found something, hasn't he? Like Swain's pretty much had it all his own way at Winton and mostly here. He won the race yesterday, as you said. But I tell you what, Phil, he is got a little bit of company this time out in the name of Hayden Nelson. So it's not going to be such a boring race for him this time, is it?
Yeah, yesterday's second place finisher, Ryan Larkin, is also back into fifth position as well. But Hayden Nelson finished third in yesterday's race. He's putting in a great ride here, though, at the bottom of the fish hook. Still holding on to a very slender lead over bike number 26 of Cameron Swain.
Massive battle behind them too for third place, with Hudson Thompson on the number 41 machine, just leading Ryan Larkin, Jack Favell, Levo Russo, Nate O'Neill, Harrison Watts and Marcus Hammond, Will Hunt, all in with a shot at the podium.
Yeah, it is a big group of riders right behind, but look, you can see how big this lead is now. They seem to be pulling it out. The fastest lap on the first flying lap went to Hayden Nelson with a 1:17.9. That's still a fair way off the 1:14.9. The lap record set by Marianus Nicholas, but conditions this morning probably not conducive to lap record, Steve, with colder track temperatures and still a couple little bits of damp area around the circuit after that extremely thick fog we had as we arrived here this morning.
No, absolutely. I mean, these guys just got out of the gate flat out, do you know what I mean? The other guys got caught napping a little bit, big gap. I'm sure that these guys, once they get used to conditions, will pick their pace up, because we're used to seeing these races like 25 guys all together, but Cameron Swain and Hayden Nelson weren't hanging around on those first 3 laps, and we're on an absolute mission.
Well, Ryan Larkin is the first rider other than our lead two to drop under the 119s with a 118. The rest of those guys, except for Harrison Watts back there in 8th place on board bike number 14, all pretty much circulating around in the 19s at the moment, which is about 1.5 to 2 seconds slower than our race leaders, who have really made a great break. It's Ryan Larkin on 68, yesterday's second place man, that's up into third now and leading the charge, bringing those riders forward. But it is still Cameron Swain and Hayden Nelson battling it out at the front. There is still nothing between them. Nelson now trying to use the slipstream to set up an overtaking manoeuvre as they come down into Motul Corner, the extremely important corner. Possibly, Steve, one of the most important on the track, because it sets you up for the run up the hill.
It certainly does. You can get, if you get a good mid-corner speed drive out there, especially on these little bikes, if you can keep that mid-corner speed up, that speed carries all the way through AMMF, up through Dunlop and into AGV.
Yeah, they'll have plenty of time to read the AMMF signs as they make their way up the hill. It is still Nelson that leads from Swain. He held on up through the that fast, very bumpy left-hand corner at the top of the hill. And that's a very tricky section of the circuit, isn't it, Steve? The left-hander and then the double rights that lead them to this area now that they're coming down through past the Dainese signage and into Alpine Stars Corner at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, Hayden Nelson's really good into there. He's woken up to his closing that inside line, a favourite inside line overtaking spot there. Just close that off, and Cameron Swain probably won't be able to do that. But Cameron Swain got a great drive. Around the outside he goes. It's neck and neck now as they head into that final corner. It's Yamaha revs your heart out, and he's just dragged straight past him.
Yeah, he got a good run up the back straight, and it meant that he didn't even have to try and outbrake Hayden Nelson, as they came down into the final corner, because he was already ahead as they tipped into the corner.
Final corner, final lap, Phil. This is it. These two guys know now that they cannot afford to make a mistake, and it is Hayden Nelson who slipstreams back past. But on the inside, it is Cameron Swain. Great job by him. He just takes that inside line, gets a bit of a wobble on the way out.
He won all 3 races at Winton quite convincingly, so this will be the first time in 2021 that Cameron Swain has actually been under pressure for a race win. What can Hayden Nelson do as they get towards the top of the hill now? We know how good he is here. He's already tried an outrageous overtaking manoeuvre early on in the race. Did he play his cards too early?
Yeah.
Will Cameron Swain know exactly what he's going to try now? Look at the speed he carried through the top end, through Dainese Corner, as they come down towards the Alpine Stars fish hook. But I think great positioning from Cameron Swain on board bike number 26.
Yeah, he's used all of the track there. You could see all the way on the inside, all the way on the outside. It just means now that Hayden Nelson needs to get good drive through here. But we saw what Cameron Swain could do through there. He was super fast. But look at Nelson. He's lining up on the inside now. This is going to come down to that final corner. Late on the brakes. He's up the inside. It's going to be close.
He is. He's up the inside, and what a great move. But can he maintain the drive out onto the straight? Can Cameron Swain use the slipstream for the first time? He could be defeated this year as they swerve across the line. They're pulled up next to each other, and I think Swain has just managed to get past, and he will take his 5th win out of 5 races in season 2021. And we've got a big crash at the last corner. Lots of riders down. You can see one of them there hitting the ground. Who will finish in 3rd position? Is that bike number 72, Levi Russo, that comes through and takes 3rd position. Also, bike number 13, Marcus Hamud, is very happy with his result. He comes across the line in 5th position, just behind William Hunt. It looks like we've got 4 bikes down there. Nate O'Neill is also crashed out on turn 3 on the last lap as well. So unfortunate for the young rider on board bike number 65.
Valentino Knezovic got through there in 11th position as well. Good to see him make a move up through. Oliver Skinner behind him. Toby James there as they just crossed over the line.
Yeah, especially considering that Valentino qualified in 18th position to get up to 11th. A great result. But congratulations to Cameron Swain, our race winner. 5 victories from 5 starts in the season so far, and also the fastest lap of the race with a 1:17.181. Hayden Nelson actually did his fastest lap of the race on the last lap, a 1:17.230. Both of them riding to the absolute limit on that last lap with their fastest laps of the race.
Yeah, well, that's right. Hayden Nelson did his fastest lap on the last lap of the race. The unfortunate part for him was Cameron Swain also did that, and it was 1/10 quicker, and he won.
Looks like it was Ryan Larkin, one of the riders that crashed there, along with Harrison Watts on board bike number 14, bike number 41, Hudson Thompson as well. But Cameron Swain has taken the race win by 0.13 of a second. Perfect use of the slipstream to take the win over Hayden Nelson. Levi Russo rounds out the podium on board bike number 72 with William Hunt, Marcus Hamod in 5th position, Varis Fleming in 6th, Riley Nata on bike number 42 in 7th, Nicholas Lakusik on bike number 12 in 8th, Elijah Andrews, Sideshow Bob, one of the real characters of the field, in 9th position, and Bodie Page, the rider that fell over on the grid, finished inside the top 10. What a recovery. Valentino, as you mentioned, getting up to 11th position as well, just ahead of Oliver Skinner, Toby James, Tate McClure and Ryan Larkin rounding out the top 15.
That was a great race. A really good way to start off the weekend here.
Yeah, certainly. Well, we know this class is such a great producer of young talent. As we mentioned, 3 of the riders from this class have made their way over into the Asian Talent Cup with great results at the 4 races that were held at Qatar. And Cameron Swain is doing his best to make sure that he is one of the riders that gets the opportunity that those 3 riders have got as we head there next year. But at the moment, he is undefeated in this championship, 5 race wins from 5 starts. But the good news for us was that in this race, Hayden Nelson on board bike number 29 pushed him all the way to the absolute limit. The smallest winning margin of the season so far for Cameron Swain. And this was the really interesting part of the race where the 2 of them were so far ahead, they were just involved in a battle with each other.
Probably a little mistake there from Cameron Swain. You've got to really think about bike positioning here. He come onto the straight first, got slipped over the line, and Cameron Swain won another one. But then there was this big crash, taking out a lot of the riders there. You can see the guy in the background there, not sure who he is, but he definitely wasn't happy with that.
So congratulations to Cameron Swain, Hayden Nelson and Levi Russo, top 3 in the first of our Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup races for today. They'll be back again later on this afternoon for their 3rd and final race. Down to Rihanna.
As always, what a thrilling race for the Blue Crew Junior Oceania Cup. And in 3rd place, we had Levi Russo. Levi, really tricky conditions out there. Congratulations to be on the podium. Well done.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah, it was really challenging, those great battles. I feel bad for everyone that crashed at the last turn, but hope you're all okay, and thank you.
Beautiful words from Levi Russo. Congratulations. And in 2nd place, fantastic battle. He was on pole position yesterday. Hayden Nelson, well done.
Yeah, thank you. difficult race. I was trying different things on the main straight, whether I'd lead or, obviously go for the slipstream. I quite couldn't get Cameron by the line, so I decided I had to lead, but, he got a really good slipstream, so props to him. Yeah, it was a really fun race and tough riding.
Absolutely, you made Cameron work for it. Congratulations, second place on the podium and making it 5 from 5 so far in 2021. Cameron Swain, you have got nothing that they can get at the moment. Congratulations, Cameron.
Yeah, thanks, Rihanna. It was a hard-fought battle with Hato. Congrats to second place for him. It was just so slippery out there. I'd just like to thank the sponsors, Racondi, AGV, Pirelli, Motul, everyone who helps out. Couldn't do it without them.
Well done, beautiful words. Congratulations to Cameron Swain, Hayden Nelson and Levi Russo, our race 2 podium getters for the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup.